Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another production of the Cross-Platform Baseball League. Welcome to our second weekly roundup of this young Season 11 season. My name is Dwayne. I'm going to be taking you through some of this stuff, the rankings and the plays of the week tonight, along with my good friend Oxbox, who's in the booth on cam for the first time. Welcome in, Oxbox. How you doing tonight, dude?
What's up, guys?
You feeling good tonight? Ready for some roundup?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I got the camera working tonight finally. Just more than a picture of the old Ox or Walter tonight. So excited to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really exciting as we get ready to break it all down for you. We're not going to waste too much time here in camera. So without further ado, let's get into the rankings. Let me just pull it up on my screen here. At 13 and tie for 14th, we don't have much of a change. We just have SWAT and Sonko taking a little bit of a dip this week. And then Mystery Man and Snowboard shoring us up at the back.
Yeah, I watched Snowbird. She really did well the last week and a half, keeping it close against people. She nearly took a game off of Chronic Lies and somebody else in the top, near the top of the AAA. So great job by her. And Mist didn't play a whole lot, but he's had a tough schedule so far. Played a lot of the top 5 guys. And then SWAT, came out with those 6 wins early. He's done a great job as far as the AA teams go. He's making noise.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen him pick up, like you said, those 6 wins early. Very impressive for a AA graduate so far. So we're definitely looking to him to keep building on that. And we're looking at Mystery Man and Snowbird to start building on something this season. Mystery Man's still looking for that first win, but like you said, a really tough schedule. And then we've seen some more run improvement from Snowbird. So should be more in the coming weeks. Let's jump up the
She
board.
put up 7 against the Milkmen. That's who I was thinking of. She nearly beat the Milkmen, I believe.
Yeah, tight 11-7 game against the Milkmen and Unholy Yeezus. So we'll see if she can build on that. At 10 and 11 and 12 this week, we have 2 players staying pat at 10 and 11 in the form of Tam Danitz and Rise and Fall, and then a little bit of a jump for Diesel and the Hikers from 13 to 12.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, guys, Hikers is going to make an even bigger jump on the next weekly roundup, I think, because he came out with some big wins this past week. He swept the Nazgul 9 myself, and he just got a big win against Squiggle Jones, who's in 3rd or 4th place in the actual standings right now. So a big week for the defending AA champion Hikers, and not a whole lot going on by Tam and Rise and Fall, though they haven't played a ton of games since we last checked on them.
Yeah, we'll be looking for those 2 this week to start to get their ball rolling a little bit more. Both of them at 10 games currently. And then, like you said, yeah, Diesel starting to find a bit of a jump off, find his feet in this AAA. He's shown some pretty impressive wins so far. Let's keep moving up the board.
Hike.
Yes, it's time to hike indeed. And we're hiking up to 7, 8, and 9. 2 teams ranked at 7th this week, and then Ox and his Nazgul 9 are dropping a little bit from 5 to number 9.
Yeah, I put together a big string of zeros in a row, so no complaints from me and my ranking drop. I actually had myself out of the top 10. Milkman doing a good job getting a split on Match of the Week against Blue Panther, who's always a tough opponent. And he's actually looking like he's shoring up his pitching since the first, couple sets he played. So good job by the Milkman to get some positive momentum. And then the Sirloins, me and Eduardo got Match of the Week this weekend, Dwayne. I'm looking forward to that. Eduardo's sitting pretty at 500 so far.
Yeah, that should be a very exciting matchup between 2 teams really close in the rankings. We're going to have that on Saturday night this week. You heard it here first for the AAA Match of the Week between Ed and Ox. And then, yeah, you definitely said it. Unholy Yeezus is starting to tighten up his pitching still, 7.68 runs allowed a game. Not the best, but he's picking up a few more wins now. He has a really, really tough strength of schedule as well here. So, again, an appropriate tie for 7th/8th ranking like he was at last week. And, you're working your way up the board. You're definitely getting your fair share of wins as well like you did last season. Always a lot of tight games for the Nazgul 9/holograms. But definitely something I think you can build on going forward, especially after some good games tonight. Let's keep going up the board to ranks 4, 5, and 6. We've got no movement from Chronic Lies and the Femme Fatales. We have a one-place jump for Blue Panther and his Foxes after a pretty good showing this week, packing in a lot of games. And then Tezzy at rank number 6, staying where he is, the heavy hitters doing their thing.
Yeah, Blue Panther, like we mentioned, split on Match of the Week. His bats really woke up, and he did sweep me, so he went 2-0 versus the 9 there. We played a couple of tight ball games, but a good job by him he's actually now at a winning record after starting off with a couple of tough series. Chronic Lies, a 2-time Federal League champion, and sitting pretty at 4th in the league just about every week so far, the rankings, and that team's always going to be a tough one to play. They've played some close series against everyone so far, it seems like, but definitely worthy of the top 5 ranking. And then Tezzy, you never know which Tezzy's going to show up, but he's proven he can beat anybody in this league for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All 3 of these players here on this list definitely in the mix to shake things up in this AAA, especially as the playoff tournament draws closer. Now we're in the middle of week 3. We're going to be moving on to week 4 soon, so very exciting stuff in the AAA. We move up now to ranks 1, 2, and 3, where we see the Swashbucklers and One-Eyed Seaman stay right at number 1 after another impressive week. Dog Pound and M. Bennings getting a nice push up to number 2, and then a bit of a dip from Squiggle Jones and the Toe Beans, but all 3 of these teams really forces to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think Seaman and Dog Pound really sit atop the AAA so far now that we're starting to shake out here in the early weeks. But the Swashbucklers are just far and away the top offensive team, I think, if you look around the league. And Benning's the only returning AAA player in the top five other than Panther here. So he's a guy who can really do it on both sides of the ball. He's a very solid pitcher. And then Squiggle Jones, he started off 10-0, I believe. And, those guys, especially 2 and 3, kind of interchangeable. But I think these guys are definitely the top 3 in the AAA.
Yeah, far and away so far, some of the most impressive players we've seen in the XBL AAA, and we're going to be eager to see how they continue to improve going forward in this season 11. We'll move on now to our XBL power rankings. We'll start off as usual right at 16, 17, and 18. We have a one-place jump for Wishbone Rules and his Astronauts. Finite and the Yeoman taking a little bit of a dip from number 15, and then Cardiac Card right on the tail end again at number 18.
Yeah, not a lot of movement there between the Yayo and the Cards because of not a whole lot of games played lately, I don't think. And then Wishbone getting a nice split against the Dragoons there. It's always a big day if you can take a game off Ted Danson. So nice job there by Wish.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing more games from these three going forward. We'll see how they shake out in this XBL standings. As you all know, there's only a limited amount of playoff spots in the XBL, so all three of these teams really trying to find a jump off to get into the conversation. We'll move up the board now to 13, 14, and 15. We actually have a tie at 12th where Webb sees himself in there, taking a little bit of a dip from number 10. Then we've got Zlatanimal taking the jump from 15th to 14th, trading places with B. Hagen and his Megafauna.
A big week for Zlatanimal. If you guys saw, he beat Corruption 7-2. So I think we've got to talk about that for a second because even though Corruption's handled him pretty easily in Game 2, that's a huge win to take a game off Corruptions, and especially being a rookie here in this league. So great job by Zlat, and he's really pitched. His pitching has been pretty strong so far coming into this league. And then, we've got the Canadian tie there at the 12 spot, and Webb, B. Hagen, and No Name will have a big battle royale to see who the King of the North is again this season. So, all three of those guys, not only is pride on the line, but very likely a playoff spot could be on the line for the Canadian Cup.
Yeah, that is actually a huge point. They did the Canadian Cup last season. Webb came out on top as the King of Canada. And then we saw B. Hagen, I believe, make the playoffs. The other two missed the playoffs. So we'll see if in this scenario where this Canadian Cup brings us, and we could see one of these teams in the playoffs, two of these teams in the playoffs, or none of these teams in the playoffs. And those games are going to really tell a big portion of that.
Yeah, there's really no way to know who's going to shake out in those top 12. But as we've seen every year in the XBL, every season, those final games, it seems like it comes down to those final games and really close race for that 12 spot. So we'll see what kind of theatrics we get this season.
Indeed, and we see No Name and his Base Bandits, as we already stated, tied at 12 with Webb and his Mountain View Melonheads. Then he's right above him. We have Flash, ranked number 11 again. Still yet to play some games, but he's going to be packing them in there pretty soon. We're eager to see more out of the Flashertons, just like we did last season. And then Boop's getting a 2-spot jump into the top 10 for the first time in a long time. Welcome back to the Bayside Colts.
Yeah, you love to see the jump by Boops. The guy's sitting right at 500, which is not easy to do in this league. And as somebody who's been in the bottom 3 of the XBL the last few seasons, especially since the PC merger, it's nice to see the Colts crack the top 10 and look like a very formidable possible playoff team this season. So great job, Boops.
Yeah, it will be huge for the Bayside Colts to make another playoff appearance. It's been a long time since, I believe, season 7. We're going to move up now to 7, 8, and 9. Two teams tied at number 8. We see Bada Bing and Jackin and Khan and the Hares, both at 500 teams. And then Ted Danson at rank number 7. He's below 500, but he's played a pretty tough schedule. And we're always looking for Ted to get his ball rolling.
Yeah, Ted seems to have taken up the hilt for split gang this season. He's got a lot of splits, it seems like. And, he's always going to be someone tough to beat. You guys had a crazy set the other day with some big runs and some big innings. But Jackin and Khan, you love to see the new guys coming in. Top 10 teams in their own right, and both of them have really played, close games. They've played people tough, and it's nice to see them being competitive here in their first season because we see a lot of guys come into the community, and it takes a bit of a learning curve to adjust to some of these great hitters. But great job by both of them to be sitting pretty at 500. Sitting steady, I mean.
Definitely, that is a great job to both of those teams. They've shown that they're both very, very strong offensively in this young season, and we're going to be looking for them to try and sorry about that as I got rid of the ad on our music. We're going to be trying to see them fucking really, pardon my French, really improve on these results that they've had. Khan at 4-4 is definitely needs to start scheduling some games, and we're going to see all that legendary improvement from our friend from South Korea. We move now to the ranks 4, 5, and 6, where we have Luke taking a bit of a dip from number 2 to 4, myself actually getting a push from 6 to 5, and then swapping places there with Team Liquid and GTM. That's a bit of a surprise, I would say. We're looking more to see out of GTM with his 4-2 record and getting his offense rolling.
Yeah, a tough drop there with GTM losing a spot in the rankings, but as we know, GTM, Luke, yourself, all very formidable opponents, can take a game off anyone at any time. And Dwayne, you're surrounded by a couple of dot gang guys right there, but you've had a great start to this season in your own right. You're not undefeated anymore, but you certainly played well and deserving of a top 5, top 6. I mean, I'm sure it's really close as far as votes go, that 5th spot, but a great job by all 3 of these teams so far.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how, especially this portion of the ladder shakes up moving towards the playoffs, as that coveted top 4 bye is going to be on the line for all of these teams, hopefully. We move now to ranks 1, 2, and 3, and this is where I think our biggest shakeup of the evening is going to be occurring. At ranks 3, we have the Corruption and his Anchors moving up after a nice solid week, packing in his games, showing he's working really well offensively and on the pitching side of the ball. Right above him, we have Ashnot actually taking his dip from number 1 to number 2 this week. He hasn't played very many games, and in those games, he was swept by the person who's in number 1 right now, which is Weaver for Prez and the Dana Point Navigators. A big, big week for Weave.
Hell yeah, Weaver. Great job, my man. And, shout out to him for the improvement he's made, but this is the first time in a long time I think we've seen a roundup where the Blues are not on that top spot. So that's a big deal when you talk about sweeping Ashnot. I don't know that anyone other than Lazy has ever done that in a set in the XBL. So hell of an accomplishment. But let's also talk about how well the Anchors have done this season to start off. Corruption's really making, throwing his weight around early and saying he's a title contender as well this season.
Yeah, I would say so. Corruptions has come out really swinging, like I said, on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And yeah, you're right. He's in that title conversation because this really feels like it's going to be anybody's ball game. There's still some big series to be played in the XBL. A lot of these top 5, 6 teams still have to play each other, and that's really where things start to take their shape and get the most exciting. So we'll be looking forward to that as the season starts to age on. Tonight we have some more content for you before we head on to our plays of the week. This is a new segment that is brought to us by our friend Wishbone, the Spreadsheet Wizard. And these are the Spreadsheet Wizards stats of the week. We have some exciting stuff here for you to go over. The first one being the year of the pitcher in a season where there are 5 teams right now to break the all-time XBL single-season strikeout record of 240 set by Bison, his government, in Season 8. We have, like I said, 5 teams being Just No Name with 286 projected, Boops with 275, Corruptions with another 275, Weaver with 262, and Zlatanimal with 248. All these based off of K9 projections that Wishbone has been able to calculate. But as it stands, we got a big strikeout season on our hands after Season 8 was perhaps the year of the pitcher.
Yeah, and this is a crazy stat, Dwayne, because when you think about, I'm pretty sure there was a few broken records there in Season 8. The strikeout, ceiling got shattered. And now we're looking at 5, 6 different guys who have a chance to break this record all on their own. And for me, that speaks volumes, because we've stayed on 90 every season. You guys have stayed on 90 hitting. So for these guys to improve their strikeout numbers when people are improving as hitters is crazy to think about. But another thing to think about is in Season 8 is back when you were allowed to have 99 velo pitchers. And because of the crazy strikeout numbers of Season 8, you guys capped it to 90 velo, which was a great move. But obviously the strikeout numbers were going to be limited. To see them pop off again this season is crazy, and great job by each of these pitchers to really be stacking the case.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting to see 5 teams with potential to set a big record like that. You know, most Ks in a season is something to really, really be proud of. We're gonna move now into. I was sorry about that, Ox. What were you gonna
say? Nothing. I was actually going to transition us into the second Wishbone the Wizards stat of the night here. Is there a new hit king in the XBL? We have Dwayne overtaking Finite Provision for the all-time XBL hits lead with a current total of 2,529 to Finite Provision's 2,506. Both players took possession of the record in subsequent seasons, and both did this while playing against Danson's Dragoons.
Yeah, that is an interesting
congratulations to you, Dwayne.
Yeah, I had not known that we both managed to break the record while playing against Ted, so that's very, very exciting. And I'm sure Finite and I are going to be doing a little bit of a back and forth all season as we work through our games. Obviously, we're still in the middle here, so it'll be interesting to see who's on top at the end of Season 11. Our follow-up to that one is going to be the Speed Demons or Speed Duds. As many of you know, if you paid attention to our roster submissions, a full 50% of XBL teams are playing with a Speed Demon build this season. That's 17% raised from last season. However, currently, the Speed Demons have the lowest win percentage of any build in the league at 45%, compared to the leader, which is being helped by Weaver and his Dana Point Navigators, the Contact Specialists, sitting at 72% in win percentage. The AAA, on the contrary, does not have a single speed team this season, something that I feel like was definitely more common in the past AAA seasons, definitely more common in AAA than the XBL, and that's down from 29% of the league last season, just flat zero.
Yeah, shout out to the 5-bar contact teams. I know myself and the Pirates and obviously the Navigators all have 5-bar contact, and that's, other than no hummus, you don't see that build a lot. But I definitely think that's a mind-boggling stat that you see 50% of the XBL has now gone to this build, where most guys, in the past were all power, 5-bar power, and that was capped. So they went, with a more balanced, maybe 4-3-4 approach or, what have you. But now you really see everybody adopting to that speed game. And then the AAA, you had so many guys like, I think Wishbone and Rainey and all these different guys, myself, who were 5-bar speed, and now you don't see not a single one in the AAA. It's just wild.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in past seasons. It's honestly staggering, but a really, really cool stat for Wishbone to pull out for us tonight to go over. Our final one to go over tonight is a bit of a spotlight on Sonko87. He swats away the competition, and we had brought this up a little bit in the rankings, but after a shortened Season X debut in AAA, where he wasn't even really able to play his regular season games, he was just able to get in on the round robin. Sonko and Team SWAT have come out really strong, leading the AA graduate class on the mound. He's third place in overall opponent batting average with 245, third place in strikeouts already, fourth place in runs allowed, and third place in whip. So good pitching numbers early from Sonko. We'll see if he can build on that along with his 6 wins.
Yeah, great job by Sonko, especially on the mound, like you pointed out. And 6 wins is big for a team coming out of the AA. He's lost a few games since then, but definitely showed that he's not someone you can take lightly, as some of those wins have come against returning AAA players.
Yeah, really, really exciting for him. We're going to see Pot County do their thing as these weeks continue to wear on. That'll do it for our Spreadsheet Wizards stats of the week. We'll definitely look forward to what Wishbone can bring us for next week. This was a really, really fun segment that I think we want to continue. We're moving now to our plays of the week. Coming in at number 5, this is an interesting play of the week. This is actually what you would imagine to be a home run robbery, but No Name actually knocks this one down. He doesn't manage to catch it. The runner stays at second. The kicker in this game being it ends 1-0. So No Name right here stopping the potential, game tying or even game winning run, depending on how things go, as it stood at 1-0 or 0-0 at the time.
Dwayne, this play reminds me exactly of the play that my left fielder made against Judas Goat and Shaka last year on the roundup top plays. But that's a hell of a non-catch by the Base Bandits. As you said, not a catch, but it kept it in the yard, kept it at zeros, and No Name gets away with this game at 1-0. So it ended up being a huge play over the course of this game.
Yes, it does. And we have another pair of huge plays coming in at 3 and 4 from the same player. To start us off at number 4, it's going to be on the defensive end, where Edwin Elephant of the Megafauna makes a great leaping grab in extra innings to keep things where they are, to take away a hit from Finite Provision. As we have a little bit of a freeze. Let me see if I can get that to loop for us.
Oh, wow. Edwin really got up for that one.
Yeah, he did.
Robin Littlejohn.
Huge jumps from Edwin Elephant here. And, Elephant's not known for their jumping ability, but they are known a little bit for their strength and power as we head to the next highlight at number 3, where Edwin, in the bottom of the 10th inning, takes a big 1-1 swing and puts the game away for the Megafauna.
Sorry, I was a little bit delayed there, Dwayne. Wow, he really crushed that ball. Perhaps a little bit of building off of the web gym. He took it into the offensive side. You see that in real life a lot. A guy makes a great play on defense. He comes up and gets a clutch hit on offense.
Yeah, big for B. Hagen there, getting a nice pair of wins in that sweep against the Yeomen off the back of this home run from Edwin Elephant. We move now to our number 2 play of the week, which is a pretty interesting one from the AAA. It's the first one we've had of its variety this season, where we see One-Eyed T-Man get 1, and then a tag between the bags for 2, and then a runner left out to dry between first and second base, tug out for number 3, a triple play for your plays of the week this week.
Yeah, triple play is something you don't see really often, and that was, how do you even score that one in the book as really a non-routine triple play from the ones you do see? But those are always big for the other team because they give your entire lineup the locked-in mojo. But great job there by C-Man, as if he needed any extra help.
Yeah, he's still undefeated in that AAA. Great offensive season from him so far, and we see him getting a big defensive play there. We'll move on now to our number 1 play of the week. This one, you'd have to wonder, how is this better than a triple play? Well, it's all circumstantial, and it's a huge play. This one comes from Weaver for Prez, and in the 7th inning, a pinch hit grand slam from former captain Bong Chongle against Ashnod's Coupon and the Blues, where Weaver ends up winning this game 12-11. He scores his 12th run with this grand slam, and that's a game winner.
You gotta love the DC logo at the end of this home run. It just makes it all much more sweeter. And what a hit by this league veteran, Bong Chongle. The man is back from the dead, Dwayne, and he's doing it with a vengeance.
Yes, he is. Weaver with that huge home run, the emphatic sweep over Ashnod. This was, I believe, game 1, so he was really able to get the ball rolling for game 2 off the back of this one, and that's huge. We've seen a great season from the Navigators.
He also had a pinch hit triple against Ashnod in the other game, I believe, which was huge over the course of this set. As like I said, Weaver becoming the only person other than Lazy to sweep Ashnod in the XBL.
Yeah, huge historic moment for Weaver. He said himself he's had him against the ropes plenty of times before, so he was able to shut the door this time. And with that, that's our plays of the week, our number 1 right there, and our weekly roundup is going to conclude here for this evening. We hope you all enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed all the new segments, all the rankings, and we'll be back a little earlier next week, just barring any obligations from anybody, and we'll try and get you an earlier roundup with your rankings and plays. But it was still good to be able to put one on for you tonight. A lot of fun here, wouldn't you say, Ox?
Yeah, no doubt. It was a lot of fun, and we appreciate Wishbone's added content for the show, and just fun to see all the fireworks in this league. Can't wait to join you guys again for the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ox, for being here with me tonight, and thank you all for watching this evening. Remember to get your games in, and if you're not a player already, feel free to join our Discord, follow our YouTube. Any way you can get it into the XBL action is a good way, because we're going to continue to have fun, and we're going to continue to put out great baseball for you guys. You all have a safe and pleasant evening. It was a pleasure to bring you another production of the Cross Platform Baseball League, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.